My name is Umar Baharom. I am a product manager at Standard Imaging. Also work with OEM relations as well. Today we'll touch on the TruPose Head Adjuster, which is a brand new product by Standard Imaging. To enable a 6-DoF adjustment for patient setup for intracranial SRS SRT. So this is our outline for today. I'll give you an introduction for the TruPose Head Adjuster. Talk about some of the mass systems that is supported by the TruPose Head Adjuster. We'll talk about how to use it in CT simulation and other options for CT simulation as well. And then we can look at some of the use case for bore type linac and a C-arm linac as well. Just as a kind of a baseline before we dive into the TruPose Head Adjuster, I want to kind of touch on surface guided radiation therapy, or SGRT. It's been out for a while now, but basically the system has cameras mounted on the ceiling to look at the patient surface, and the surface can be generated at the linac, or ideally for kind of an end-to-end workflow, you're going to generate the surface after the CT simulation. So then as you go to the linac, you can see the patient surface where you can do your adjustment to make sure that the patient is in the right position. And then after that, once the treatment is ongoing, then you can use it for tracking as well. So there's a lot of cool things you can do, of course, like the IBH. There's obviously for like couch cakes, right, where you can't do any KV imaging. It's very useful for that. But yeah, I just want to kind of talk about this a little bit. So on the linac, this is where you can set your region of interest. You can see as we talk about kind of intracranial SRS, here's a kind of a patient using open face mask. So you're just selecting the areas that are exposed, as you can see here. And for patient setup monitoring, you're basically looking at the screen and just adjusting for patient setup. Obviously, you're going to adjust all these deltas, and your goal is to get it within tolerance, or ideally 0. And again, after that's done, then it's just going to be for patient monitoring. There are interlock as well. So as the patient is kind of moving or accidentally move outside the tolerance, then you can also hold the beam. So these are the SGRT systems available in the market. There's a Line RT from Vision RT. That's the Catalyst from CRAD, Luna 3D. Luna 3D is relatively new, and then Clarity is Accuray. This is new as well. So the TruPose Head Adjuster. So this affords additional 3-DoF head adjustment for linacs that do not have 6-DoF couch, or especially for bore type linacs, which they don't have 6-DoF couch, right, availability. So this is the anatomy for the head adjuster. We have the mechanical housing, as you can see on top there, and there's the adjustable head plate, and the universal head plate, which has the holes for the standard 2-pin indexing bar. So basically the adjustment is there's a ball joint towards the inferior end of the head plate that's allowed for it to pivot. And then there's also adjustments on the mechanical housing. You can see where the adjustable head plates attached to the mechanical housing there. In terms of the adjustments, there are 3 knobs. They are color-coded. They are just the roll knob in red, and pitch in green, yaw in blue. There's also corresponding indicators. Really, this is just to set your 0. We do have the tick marks as well, but again, all the adjustments are going to rely on the SGRT system display. So really, you're going to be using this just to set your 0 as you set up the patient. These are the nominal range for the rotations. you have roll and yaw at ±4 degrees and pitch at ±3 degrees. The adjustment knobs also have a safety clutch for them. So as you kind of bring the adjustment all the way to the maximum or minimum, the knobs will just kind of click. So, you won't damage the internals. Yeah, so it'd be an audible click that tells you that, okay, you have reached the maximum adjustments. In terms of mass system compatibility, there are 3 mass systems that we support. And obviously this is widely used in the field. There's the 5-pin S-type, and then there's the Orfit 3-point system. And also there's we also support the Macromedics dual shell, DSPS. Here you can see the different configurations and also the mask there. Obviously you want to use, since the device relies on the SGRT system feedback, you want to use open face mask for this. So these are the part numbers for the different TruPose systems. Please note that the head plates are factory installed, so they're not user hot swappable. So, you want to make sure that you're ordering the correct TruPose system. And of course, we'll be able to help you if you have any questions with that. I think, honestly, the easiest way to do it is just take a picture if you're not sure what they are, what you want to use. And, we can help you with that, selecting the right TruPose Head Adjuster for you. This is, I think, a lot of if you are familiar with the Encompass system by CQ Medical, we can support this as well. We don't directly support it where we have a mask interface for it, but CQ Medical does provide or sell an S-type adapter for the Encompass mask. So this would, something additional you would need to purchase, but it will fit on our S-type TruPose system. So there are 2 options for you to use the head adjuster for CT simulation. So you can use the TruPose head adjuster itself for patient in the CT sim room. But another option is to use we have an option is called TruPose static. So it has a similar anatomy, just similar geometry as the TruPose head adjuster, because the head plate is slightly raised versus the base plate. So you want to use the same geometry when you're in the CT sim and at the linac. So this is, again, it has the same geometry as your TruPose head adjuster, but you don't have the ability to make any adjustment, right? So this is your 0 position. So if you are, going to use the head adjuster a lot, or you want a dedicated system in the CT room, this is an option that you can get. Again, it has the same mass system, so obviously you want to match this, right? So if you have a, let's say, a Type S TruPose head adjuster, and you want something for the CT room, then you want to get the Type S TruPose static. So why would you need the TruPose head adjuster? So a few reasons here. If you are trying to use Halcyon or Ethos or the Radixact for intracranial treatment, these couches only offer translational movement, so there's no pitch, roll, and yaw. As you know, making adjustments manually by the therapist is very difficult. So the TruPose will help you with that. So with the help with the visual feedback from SGRT system, you can quickly correct for rotational errors. The TruPose is also lightweight and compact. It's very therapist friendly. So you can improve the patient treatment accuracy, and also, because you can set it up really quickly, you can decrease the total treatment time and the time that the patient has to be on the couch. So in terms of setting up the TruPose in the CT room, again, there is the 2-pin, the holes for the 2-pin indexing bar. And next thing you want to do is make sure that all the indicators are set to 0. because this is going to be your kind of baseline position. And then you can form your message. You can see here. So this on the right here is the showing the Micromedics DSPS mask system. On Halcyon and Ethos, there's the virtual ISO center. So the TruPose is ideal for prototype linacs like the Halcyon and Ethos because it lays flat on the couch top and doesn't overhang the end of the couch, so the superior end of the couch. So this is important because the patient has to be set up at the virtual ISO center on the Halcyon, and the Halcyon couch doesn't retract far enough for couch extension type head adjusters. So if you have a head adjuster kind of go beyond the end of the couch, superior end of the couch, it wouldn't work. You wouldn't be able to set the patient in virtual ISO center. So first you want to set the TruPose in position with 2-pin indexing bar, just like in the CT room. Then you want to ensure that the pitch, roll, and yaw indicators are set to 0. And well, we don't generally see adjustments needed more than 2 degrees. But setting all the indicators to 0 just allows you to have the maximum adjustment range for positioning the patient's head. And then the user can assist the patient onto the TruPose head adjuster, and then you can secure the mask. So the adjustment knobs can be accessed from either behind the board or from the side of the patient in front of the board. And the image above shows the user making the adjustments while looking at the mobile SGRT display. Each knob are color-coded and clearly labeled. The user will turn the corresponding adjustment knobs until the deltas for the pitch, roll, and yaw are zeroed out. And the device is designed such that all adjustments are very smooth and continuous, so you can achieve a resolution of less than 0.1 degrees. So I just want to share that Vision RT also has a unique ring-mounted SGRT system called the Align RT Inbore. The Inbore is available for Varian Halcyon, Ethos, and I think they're later this year. I think they're coming out with a version for the Accuray Radixact as well. So the TruPose can also be used on C-arm linac, particularly those without stick stuff couch. Once again, the user will zero out the deltas for pitch, roll, and yaw by just adjusting the corresponding knobs with visual feedback from SGRT display console. So it works the same way on a bore base or a C-arm linac. So on a TruBeam, so obviously non-coplanar treatment deliveries on the TruBeam, they may include vertex fields. So hold on a second, sorry. So this should be avoided as the mechanical housing contain, higher attenuating metal components. So we have tested the couch angles, and generally couch kicks up to 45 degrees are available. And with field size less than 5 cm, but certainly you want to take a look at this, your plan as you use the device. So this shows that a Phantom that we also sell is called the Lucy EA Phantom. With the TruPose, you can set the skew in pitch, roll, and yaw. So you can do an end-to-end QA with an SRS Phantom. The Phantom is a pseudo-anthropomorphic Phantom, as you can see here. It has a removable face where you can access a large cavity. There are 2 inserts that we include with the Phantom. One is a multiple target film insert, which has 4 spherical targets with 6 film planes. And then there's also a multiple target Winston Lutz insert, which has 5 BBs, which are tungsten. So that's for your Winston Lutz tests. The surface of the phantom is SGRT visible as well, so it's kind of a good complementary product with the TruPose Head Adjuster. Just to kind of recap on the TruPose Head Adjuster, so it is it allows you to have additional 3 degrees of freedom head adjustment, and it's really designed for board type linacs, so that you can position your patient's head precisely for SRS or SRT treatment using visual feedback from SGRT system. Also, the user is going to be the radiation therapist. You can use it to form a mask at the CT sim, and then on the linac is for your patient positioning. So why do you need it? There's you can improve patient alignment in the absence of a 6-stuff couch. It's really quick to do it. Literally you just kind of make sure that you have the right knob, and then just looking at your deltas, adjusting it, making it 0. Very therapist friendly. It's very lightweight and compact, and it's a good economical alternative for to a 6-stuff couch upgrade if you don't have a 6-stuff couch already. And again, I touched on this before. For kind of improved workflow efficiency, there is the TruPose Static as an option for your kind of dedicated device for the CT room. So some of the clinical advantages of the TruPose Head Adjuster. So it enables 6-stuff adjustments on board linacs like Halcyon, Ethos, and Radixact. We can also enable 6-stuff adjustment for CM linacs if you have kind of older linac without 6-stuff couch. So it allows for precise head positioning for tight tolerance modalities like SRS, SRT, and then we also support a variety of mask compatibility that should fit your needs. That's the end of my presentation today. If you have any questions, I can take a look at it after this. You can also contact us if you want to schedule a one-on-one demo and to see how the TruPose can fit into your clinical workflow. Again, I think a lot of the questions is going to be about the mask compatibility, and we'll be happy to help you with that. Okay. Ashley, yeah. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and enter it on the Q&A.
Thanks, Omar, for that great presentation. Like he said, if you have any questions, just submit them in the Q&A tab at the top of the screen or in the chat, and we'll get to those. We did have one come through that I'm seeing. Have you done any transmission testing through the head plate?
Yes. So you see the head plates and the base plate are made out of carbon fiber. So it's similar material as all the other kind of mask frames out there, and we have done attachment testing. Yeah, it performs the same as those carbon fiber plates. Yeah, thanks again for joining the webinar. Really appreciate your time. Hope you have a good rest of the day. Thank you.